What up, y'all? It's your boy RottenRoseQ back with another reaction video. And this one right here is the second installation that we were going ahead and reacting to before. I asked you guys if you would like me to continue down this road. You guys let me know that y'all want me to. If you guys don't know, we are officially down the rabbit hole of the BTS origin. My thing is, it's okay for us to love what we see now, but I'm the type of person when I see you guys going crazy right now, I want to be able to go back and try to figure out exactly how all of this started. And that's where we are right now in the rabbit hole of the BTS origin. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into our second installation here of the Noits documentary of how BTS became the biggest group on Earth. Let's go ahead and get this done.
With their first taste of domestic success secured, the group completely abandoned adolescent angst on the 10th of October 2016.
I want to go ahead and give context, though, because if you guys didn't see the video before this, you probably wouldn't understand where we are. But if you do check it out, you will. But for those that didn't, where we are in this is basically the understanding that they came in being very like a lot of us as artists, being very true to themselves or doing the music that they believed was just going to be the music that was going to transcend and basically be the music that people were going to connect with them the most with. What was recognized is that there were a few more touches, a few more notches, a few more switches that needed to be hit before they were able to genuinely go where they wanted to be. We are now at the point in the documentary where they finally hit that hit. And now we're speaking about what steps that they're going to take from there to either continue to make these hits or to fall to the wayside. So let's find out.
The track Blood, Sweat, and Tears introduced a heavy moombot trap sound to the Korean mainstream, a genre largely unexplored by other groups at the time. It showcases a vocal and rap delivery that was sensual, restrained, and entirely removed from their hip-hop origins. The conceptual framework was explicitly intellectual, drawing direct inspiration from Hermann Hesse's 1919 novel Demian. Visually, the era was a masterclass in opulence. Styled in velvet blazers and silk, the members moved.
Translation, they took off. Translation, they took off. Like, come on, man. Let's just be real about it. The thing is, especially in rap, you really want to know the rules first. I wouldn't even just say rap. I would say literature in general. You want to learn the rules. If you're writing poetry, you want to learn the rules first. You don't want to just put pen to paper and just try things. I know it feels like that's the best thing to do, but no, it's actually not. You really need to find out what the rules are. You need to find out the ways of the people that are already doing this. And then once you find those things out, now you have the opportunity to now creatively give them what you want. And what's dope about it is that if you perfected your craft, when it's time to understand, okay, the audience actually wants this, though, it's easier for you to create something that's just for you in that space of what the audience is actually wanting. Why is that important? Because now you're being you. You still have the right to give what you want to give. They're still giving their life stories till this day in their music. They're still putting their lives in it. But as you see, they catered more to what it is that the people want. This is dope.
Through museum sets filled with Renaissance paintings and classical sculptures. This massive aesthetic gamble paid off. It culminated in their first ever Days Song for Album of the Year at the Melon Music Awards 2016.
How to find the meaning of life on Airbnb.
And I apologize for the ads, you guys, but come on. To this point, this genuinely shows exactly why it went this way. We just gotta be real about this one, guys.
The track Blood, Sweat, and Tears introduced a heavy moombot trap sound to the Korean mainstream, a genre largely unexplored by other groups at the time. It showcases a vocal and rap delivery that was sensual, restrained, and entirely removed from their hip-hop origins. The conceptual framework was explicitly intellectual, drawing direct inspiration from Hermann Hesse's 1919 novel Demian. Visually, the era was a masterclass in opulence. Styled in velvet blazers and silk, the members moved through museum sets filled with Renaissance paintings and classical sculptures. This massive aesthetic gamble paid off. It culminated in their first ever Days Song for Album of the Year at the Melon Music Awards 2016.
Look at how shocked that they were. Look at how shocked that they were.
This specific, highly coveted victory marked the exact moment.
And look at RM. Moments like this make me happy because everyone is the leader. Everyone wants to be the leader of something. When we look at the origin, although RM was first, you can see how much there's a difference between the leaders that feel happy letting everyone know that they're the leader, and then there's a difference between a leader that's whole purpose is to make sure that the whole team has an understanding with each other and that it's built on love. The L in their leader is for love. And a moment like this, while they're shocked, RM is walking as if he knew. And this is what it's about. In all honesty, man, the accolades, this is where the respect comes. This is where you begin to not just be someone that's trying something creative. You're someone that tried something creative and it worked. You hit gold. Let's keep going.
Moment, the industry paradigm shifted. Critics and rivals were forced to stop seeing them as trend-chasing idols and start viewing them as autonomous, globally viable artists. And that's not even the most insane part. What started as a domestic shift was about to trigger an international algorithm anomaly. The global music infrastructure was fundamentally unprepared for how fast BTS's digital footprint was growing. In May 2017, they officially breached the Western Wall by attending the Billboard Music Awards in Las Vegas.
At the Billboard Music Awards, oh my gosh. Army.
Come on, y'all. Come on. Come on. This has to be outrageous. And also, let's keep in mind, like at this point now, they're kind of, I wouldn't say used to their success, but I will say that they are understanding of their success. But this is beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see, man.
Our friend, and thank you very much. 정말 사랑하고 감사합니다. 더 멋진 방탄소년단 되겠습니다.
A victory driven entirely by the digital coordination of a global fan base.
To call these guys international superstars honestly feels like an understatement.
Breaking into the American market was merely the first hurdle.
To call these guys international superstars would be an understatement.
Establishing a sustainable, respected global philosophy required an entirely new conceptual framework. On the 18th of May 2018, the group launched a new philosophy, a multi-album narrative exploring the darkest sides of identity. The lead single, Fake Love, utilized heavy emo hip-hop and suffocating rock elements to convey a sense of psychological exhaustion. The visuals mirrored this descent. Gone were the bright colors, replaced by massive practical effects of collapsing floors, exploding rooms, and rushing walls of water. A physically manifested internal distress of realizing that one must fundamentally love themselves before attempting to love another. The
Look at the freaking visuals. For the true army fans here, for the true army members that were there when this song actually released, could you go ahead and put in the comments how did you feel when you first saw this? And even if you're a newer army member like me, let me know how you felt when you first seen this video, because the visuals on this one is absolutely ridiculous. We're gonna have to do a reaction video just to that alone. But let's keep going.
Choreography itself looked less like a dance and more like a desperate struggle. This theme resonated on a scale previously thought impossible for a non-English release. And the album Love Yourself Tear catapulted to #1 on the US Billboard 200, making them the first Korean act in history to reach that milestone. Their cultural...
Is this why they say that these guys are just like at an all-time level? Someone let me know, when did they exactly hit that all-time level that would never be touched ever again? At what point in their career did it happen? Because it clearly happened. But I just want to know, at what point in their career do you guys think it happened?
Influence subsequently transcended music entirely when they were invited to the United Nations General Assembly in September 2018, where RM delivered the iconic Speak Yourself address.
Find your name and find your voice by speaking yourself. I'm Kim Namjoon and also RM of BTS. I'm an idol and I'm an artist from a small town in Korea.
Cementing their status as global diplomats representing the youth demographic.
Building on our belief that true love first begins with loving myself.
By the summer of 2000,
Man, class act. Class act, man. That's insane. I love how in this video, in just a short amount of time, you were seeing the stages gradually increase in importance. Crazy.
2019, the group's philosophical dominance had translated into an iron grip on the global stage. On June 1st and 2nd of 2019, they officially broke the wall by becoming the first South Korean act to headline London's iconic Wembley Stadium.
The Wembley is not something for everyone. The Wembley is not something that everybody can just go and perform at. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and do my research real fast and see what caliber of artists are able to genuinely headline the Wembley. Not just open up, headline.
Selling out 2 consecutive nights in just 90 minutes, they stood where only the world's most legendary artists, from Queen to Michael Jackson, had stood before. Heading into the 2019 Melon Music Awards, the question was no longer if BTS would win,
축하드립니다. 방탄소년단.
but simply how many trophies they'd actually leave for everyone else. That night, the group executed an unprecedented sweep, becoming the first artist in the history of the ceremony to win all 4 grand prizes: Artist, Record, Album, and Song of the Year.
시호가 밥 한번 사라. BTS! 감사합니다, 여러분들.
그리고 고생 많으셨습니다. 정말 수고하셨습니다.
Mama Album of the Year.
It's like it was televised. It was televised when they won all 4 awards. And that was something that was not happening. There's videos that I've created just to show you the hardship of trying to become K-pop artists. And not only did they become, K-pop is not even in the conversation of BTS anymore. They're chasing a whole different stratosphere, if you will, for real.
Goes to
BTS!
저희가 여러분들한테 나타날 수 있을 것 같아요. 기대 많이 해주세요. 여러분 감사합니다.
This absolute domestic sovereignty was physically demonstrated through an extravagant 37-minute performance spectacle that made standard award show stages look tiny. By blending traditional Korean instrumentation and sword dances with their aggressive hip-hop tracks, they delivered something that felt more like an Olympic opening ceremony than a music show. The sheer magnitude of this sweep effectively ended any remaining debates regarding the Korean industry hierarchy. They forced the domestic audience and rival agencies to acknowledge their unparalleled scale. They did not simply win the awards that night, they systematically annexed the entire Korean entertainment sector, establishing a monopoly at the very top.
And it seems like I watched the video. They said it's over 4,000 companies in South Korea that are using their companies to create music and release music. So this feat is not light. This is not something that you would say, "Oh yeah, well anyone could have done it." No, this was important. This was crazy. And on top of that, notice how they were already on top of the world, and they could have came just to be on top of the world and say thank you for the award. They came and they stepped even more. That whole 38-minute performance is another thing that needs to have a reaction video. So please, Rotten Rose family in the chat, go ahead and put that in the comments that y'all need to see that as well. Because if y'all haven't noticed, we're knocking out these videos. If you're in these comments and you're showing love, you want something reacted to, say it. We're reacting, you know? So in all respects, we need to go ahead and react to that performance because that was a performance that took them to another notch as well. So we need to go ahead and react to that whole 38 minutes. My thing is we're clearly seeing what made them who they are today. Let's keep going.
Their domestic monopoly was unquestioned, but a global pandemic forced a sudden pivot to keep that momentum alive. With stadium tours canceled and the world paralyzed, the group made the tactical choice to record entirely in English. They crafted a retro disco track specifically designed to offer pure escapism during the darkest months of the lockdown. The song was titled Dynamite. The presentation was deliberately nostalgic, stripping away the complex lore of previous eras. The music video featured pastel suits, flared pants, and vintage record stores. It utilized a bright, unbothered color palette that contrasted sharply with the bleak, uncertain reality of the 2020 global landscape. This strategic pivot paid off on an unprecedented scale, successfully cracking the
My thing, I don't think they get enough credit for having 7 members and they still go out their way that whenever they want to present an image, it still gets done. Whether it's the way that they present themselves in the 2.0 video, where they're showing love to Old Boy, or even when you see how they present themselves on stage, how they present themselves for all of the fashion houses that they're working with as well, is like to see the way that they put it together. They deserve a little bit of acknowledgement for that. These are some of the flyest guys in the world, man. These are some of the flyest guys in the world because it's not a style that they can't do. But let's keep going.
code of American radio play. The track debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, maintaining the position for 3 total weeks. Dynamite transformed them from massive international stars into unavoidable household names, proving they possess the infrastructure to conquer the global market even when the world was standing entirely still.
Come on. That's amazing. Let's keep in mind, why is he saying that the world was standing still? This is during COVID. At the shift of COVID, I mean, do I need to explain that to any human being that's watching this video? The shift of COVID changed the world. And can we show some love for the fact that during the shift of COVID, they knew what they knew what they were going to do. They knew how they were going to go about it. I'm not sure if they knew that it was going to go as crazy as it did, but come on, guys. They were already these superstars. But what happened after Dynamite went from superstars to everyone knows this. everyone knows this. Your grandma. Everyone knows this in the Western Hemisphere. You can't truly ask 10 people who BTS is and get 10 I don't knows. And if you guys think I'm wrong about that, let me know so I can go outside and create this video. If you guys don't already know, our headquarters is in Los Angeles. So I would love to go to the beach if you guys don't believe me and just go ahead and ask random people, do you know who BTS is? Because I'm pretty sure if I was to ask 10 people, I'm going to get majority of them letting me know that they know exactly who they are without me having to explain anything more. But let me know in the comments if you guys think I'm trolling about that.
But what happens next completely flips the game, permanently transformed the very DNA of the industry. Between 2021 and 2022, the sheer scale of their success broke the metrics used to measure K-pop's viability. Before this, a group selling 1 million physical albums was a generational anomaly, a peak reserved for legends. But BTS began generating multi-million unit sales within hours of a pre-order launch, establishing a terrifying new baseline for the entire Korean entertainment sector.
That's not just for the entire Korean entertainment sector. That's for the world. That's for the world. What are we talking about here? Multi-millions? Physicals? They changed the game. They changed the game.
Industry observers and fandoms across platforms noted that what was once considered astronomical success had suddenly, brutally been normalized. The landscape shifted to the point where if a modern top-tier group fails to hit 1 million sales, they are heavily scrutinized by the public and labeled as entering a flop era. BTS made the mathematically abnormal look standard, forcing every competing agency to rewrite their financial projections. This BTS effect meant they were no longer just players in the game, but rather the creators. Fans and executives alike began holding entirely different groups to the sky-high standards BTS had established. They had become the impossible benchmark by which all future artists, regardless of agency or concept, would be ruthlessly judged.
This is work ethic. This is work ethic. And to think about how all of this started, and to think about how the CEO set out to create this challenge to find the greatest talent in South Korea, and to see how far they've came. This is what you get with humility, modesty, because as you know, these guys came from humble beginnings. These guys were getting ready in circumstances a lot of other artists never had to experience. So it's like they went through the full, they didn't just go through the regular artist development. They went through K-pop idol development, which is a whole nother conversation all in itself. And to make it out of that successfully, it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. This is amazing. This is amazing. Just even at this point in the video at their career, if this is all that they did, this is amazing. Just making it seem so effortless that now everyone is saying, yo, listen, you got to be able to get 1 million physicals sold to actually start talking and having a conversation here. It's like, yo, just a few years ago, you couldn't even tell us anything about how to run business. Now, today, we have to watch you and now change our blueprint and our formats based on every move that you make. Job well done. Job well done.
Having rewritten the commercial rules of K-pop, the group transitioned from pop stars to geopolitical figures. They released a slick, bass-heavy dance pop track that entirely dominated the American summer. The song held the #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100 for an astonishing 10 weeks, proving their English language dominance was a sustained reality, not a pandemic-era fluke. However, this period of total chart monopolization coincided with a significant, disturbing rise in anti-Asian hate crimes globally. Recognizing their unparalleled influence, the Biden administration issued an unprecedented invitation. On the 31st of May 2022, the 7 members arrived at the Oval Office to meet with the President of the United States to address Asian inclusion and the surge in discrimination. The image of a Korean musical act leveraging their chart supremacy to leverage a platform at the epicenter of American political power was unparalleled in modern history. It definitively proved that their influence had permanently bled out of the entertainment sector. The industry was already whispering about the inevitable domination, but first, the BTS empire had to prove it could survive being split into 7 distinct pieces. Mandatory military enlistment forced an inevitable halt to group activities, launching an era of multi-front solo campaigns. Traditional industry hypothesis dictated that their immense influence would fracture and dilute without the collective BTS brand attached to every release. Instead, the members launched 7 individualized, globally dominant takeovers. Jimin explored dark, intoxicating synth pop with Face, making history as the first Korean soloist to top the Hot 100. Jungkook aggressively claimed the title of
Bruh, I think what I love about the BTS story is this is pretty much like the movie that I'm trying to. It's like the death of 1,000 cuts. Maybe that's not the best way for it. That's not the best words for it. But what I'm trying to explain is these guys, the way that this was set up, this is never going to end. You might have thought that once they reached what you thought their goal was, that the brakes would start or that things would get loose or things just wouldn't work out. The way that their team is set up, they're prepared for this future. This is not a shock to them. And that's crazy to me, right? Because look at all of the moves that they made. It's like for every hard time, for every block, they had a way to go around. They did not allow that block to define them or to become a tattoo on their body. They continued to move forward, and in every way of moving forward, they created a whole new opportunity, a whole new vessel, a whole like this is amazing. That one lesson in life should go with you. Everything that's happening in life is a way for you to win. You just got to change your perception. You got to change the way you're seeing it. That's amazing.
global pop prince with his album Golden, securing his own Hot 100 #1 with the track 7. Concurrently, Suga embarked on a massive, sold-out worldwide arena tour under his August D moniker, proving the lethal standalone commercial viability of.
I've been knowing that I got to do a whole deep dive on August D, and I know that I pronounced his name wrong, so I want to go ahead and make sure I fix that. But he is an incredible lyricist. So I'm gonna go ahead and do some reactions just to go ahead and let you understand exactly who he is all by himself. But that's a whole nother video.
Of the group's rap line on a global stage without a single pop vocal track. Meanwhile, RMV, J-Hope, and Jin released critically acclaimed, highly experimental projects that systematically dismantled the traditional idol aesthetic. They explored everything from alternative R&B and indie pop to jazz and raw street dance concepts. This era provided the final, undeniable proof that the group's power was not a collective illusion or a marketing gimmick. It was backed by 7 individual titans, each fully capable of moving the global needle entirely on their own.
And that's what happens when you start with the love of music first. When you start with the love of music first and you are given a platform, when 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 that blessing is bestowed upon you to have a platform, if you truly love music, if you truly love the things that made you successful, oh, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. And that's basically what he's breaking down right there. That all seven of them looked at it like it was just the beginning. Oh, if y'all like this, watch what we got for you. Legendary.
For 3 years, the global pop landscape felt the weight of their absence, a quietude that persisted despite a relentless stream of solo chart toppers. But the 3 years of individual dominance and military service only heightened the global tension for their inevitable reunion. Bypassing the expectation of a safe English language anthem, the group announced their 10th studio album, Arirang. The title alone signaled a profound return to their cultural roots, leaning into the thematic weight of the nation's unofficial anthem of longing and reunion. While the group previously performed a traditional Arirang medley as far back as 2016 at KCON France, that early tribute was merely a whisper compared to the roar of this comeback. The concept for this era is a profound modern reimagining of a real historical event involving 7 young Korean men who traveled to the United States to make the first ever audio recordings of Korean music. BTS is using this history to bridge a 130-year gap. Back then, 7 students were the first to record the Korean sound in the West in 1896, and now, exactly 7 members stand as the ultimate architects of that sound in 2026. A studio album drop is simply not enough to contain the cultural and emotional weight of this return. On March 21st, the day after the album's release, the group will execute a historic, live-streamed concert directly from Gwanghwamun Square, the official palace of Joseon Dynasty. They are effectively shutting down the center of Seoul to partner with Netflix for a massive, unprecedented global broadcast. The scale of this event will bridge the gap between an intimate domestic homecoming and an international digital stadium, allowing millions across 200 countries to witness the reunion simultaneously. Expect them to command the stage without losing a fraction of the raw, aggressive intensity that defined their rookie years. The story of BTS isn't a fairy tale about a boy band getting famous. They arrived in an industry that actively attempted to reject them, armed with nothing but raw ambition and an airtight discography, and proceeded to dismantle every systemic barrier placed in their path. Reaching the top of the K-pop industry wasn't enough. They established a standard of success so entirely abnormal that it remains out of reach for anyone else. They bypassed Western gatekeepers, rewrote Billboard history, and forced the highest political offices in the world to acknowledge their cultural weight. They had left the global stage for years, conquered their respective solo endeavors, and returned only to find their collective throne entirely untouched and waiting for them.
Man, listen, you need to understand who they are and you need to understand what they did, because what they did will be studied for the next 50 years. What they did will be studied for the next 50 years. I'm happy if this is the first time that you were able to recognize this, but I'm saying this: what they have done is going to be studied for the next 50 years. I'm gonna just go ahead and leave it at that. It's your boy RottenRoseQ. I appreciate y'all that are rocking with me. If y'all can, go ahead, share this out to 1 to 2 people. And then when you're done with that, go ahead and share it out to 1 or 2 more people, because this was a complete breakdown of exactly who BTS is, how they got where they are, and a little bit of an understanding of where they're about to go. Everything is looking very coordinated, planned, and it seems like the next 5 to 10 years from them is already in the books, if you ask me. I don't believe that they're about to have any competition anytime soon. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. It's your boy RottenRoseQ. I'm out of here.